Truly, my brothers and my sisters, we would have never made it had it not been for the Lord on our side. We would have lost it all. We would have went crazy. We would have lost that $50,000 Bentley. We would have lost our minds if it had not been for the Lord. For if it had not been for the Lord on our side, when we fell down, we would have not been able to get back up. Because when we fall down, we get back up again. For a saint is nothing but a sinner who fell down and got back up. For my brothers and my sisters, for just a brief moment, I want to direct your attention to the book of Deuteronomy, the 8th chapter and the 11th verse, which says, Beware that thou forget not thy God, in not keeping his commandments, in his judgments, in his statutes, which I command thee this day. For my brothers and my sisters, I want to discuss with you the topic of the laws of God. For my brothers and my sisters, in the book of Deuteronomy, in the 5th chapter, God sets before his people 10 simple commandments, 10 simple rules in which to follow. And my brothers and my sisters, we have strayed off the path of following God's commandments. And today I am going to do part 1 of a series entitled Remember My Laws, My Children. And today, for a moment, I want to discuss the commandments. I shall not have no other gods before me. For my brothers and my sisters, God said, I shall have no other gods before me. However, my brothers and my sisters, we are living in a world, my brothers and my sisters, where God is no longer Jesus. Where God is no longer the Almighty God. And we are living in a world where God is my money. God is my car. God is my earthly things. The things that cannot get me into heaven are the things that we are actually worshiping. And when God says, I shall not have no other gods before me, we have people in our neighborhood worshiping Buddha, Allah, Muhammad, all these false idols and things that don't matter are being in the pot. I was talking to a friend just the other day, my brothers and my sisters, and he was telling me that he was telling me that God was Allah. And I had to ask my friend, did the world make Allah or did Allah make the world? My brothers and my sisters, we need to get back to a land where we are worshiping one God, the one who made something out of nothing, the one that brought us from the slavery bondages of being in Egypt to a land of milk and honey. My brothers and my sisters, just because God doesn't show up when we want him to doesn't mean that we should worship earthly things and false idols that don't matter amount to the one who paid it all for our sins. We have pastors in the church that are worshiping dollars rather than the Almighty God who is a ruler of all things. For my brothers and my sisters, do not think that false idolship is an earthly thing. Well, actually, it is an earthly thing. However, we see false idolship several times in the Bible. In the book of Isaiah, we see the craftsman make himself a false idol out of cypress wood. And my brothers and my sisters, what the craftsman did was he made himself a God that he could see, because he couldn't have faith in a God that he couldn't see. So he had to make himself a God who he could see, like so many of our brothers and sisters are doing nowadays, is they are making themselves a God that they can see. Like they have their little Buddha statue that they bow down to and they say, Buddha, I bless you. Buddha, I can see you. You are a physical statue, so I worship you. When the Bible tells us that faith is the substance of things hopeful and the evidence of things unseen. For my brothers and my sisters, we just have to have faith in a God that we cannot see. Faith that God will make sure that everything is alright and stop worshiping all of these false idolship. For my brothers and my sisters, in the book of Daniel, the 3rd chapter, in the 22nd verse, it says that King Nebuchadnezzar said to Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, if you are not going to worship the God that I set before you, the God that, the golden image which I have set before you, I will put you in the fiery furnace, and heated 7 times hotter than it normally is. And my brothers and my sisters, what had happened here was that King Nebuchadnezzar had made himself a false god in the form of a golden image. And he had told the people that were in the land that they had to bow down before this god. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, my brothers and my sisters, were not about to bow down to this golden image, because God had said, "I shall have no other God before me." And King Nebuchadnezzar had gotten very mad, my brothers and my sisters, and he said, well, why won't you worship the God that I put before you, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego? And they said, we are careful not to answer thee in this matter. And so King Nebuchadnezzar had his men bound Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego by their coats and throw them into the furnace. And when they opened up the furnace, the men of Nebuchadnezzar said, if bless the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, he is an awesome God. And my brothers that bounded them were burnt up. And they went into the furnace. And King Nebuchadnezzar said, if your God is truly the God that you believe in, then he will save you. And if he's not, you will have to worship the God that I have set before you. And my brothers and my sisters, the three of them said, even if God does not save us, we shall not worship this golden image. And so they were, Nebuchadnezzar said, if bless the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, he is an awesome God. And my brother put in the fiery furnace. And King Nebuchadnezzar really did not have any hope for them. I do not think, my brothers and my sisters. So when he went back to check on them, he said to the people that were with him, I put in 3, but I see 4. That is God in working for my brothers and my sisters. Because Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego had not worshipped that golden image, God sent an angel in there to be a camp around them. And the 4th image that they seen was the angel that God had set before them. And after that, King Nebuchadnezzar, the 4th image that they seen was the angel that God had set before them. And after that, King Nebuchadnezzar said, if bless the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, he is an awesome God. And my brothers and my sisters, I want to hit on this brief point real quick before I close this here message. Going into the 2nd commandment, thou shalt not kill. This is exactly what King Nebuchadnezzar had attempted to do, because they were not worshiping the God that he had set before them, the golden image. He had set forth to kill Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and God said, I shall not kill. However, my brothers and my sisters, just like King Nebuchadnezzar, we are killing each other on a daily basis. We turn on the news and hear about how a brother has killed another brother. My beloved, I turned on the news just the other day to hear about a man being killed in front of the church. My brothers and my sisters, we have reached a point in our life where we disrespect the masters to where we have to kill each other in the street. Now, killing doesn't always have to mean murder, my beloved. For you can kill somebody's spirit. When you tell a child you are never going to be anything, just because your daddy is a crackhead, that means you are going to be a crackhead. That is killing a child's spirit. Because some children, they will